Alrighty then. Well, damn. My back hurts like a motherfucker. I really shouldn't be doing a video like this today. Oh god. I've been sleeping all fucking day. The sleep didn't just hit different. No, I was just fucking depressed today. And it's gonna stay like that until tomorrow. Which means until 12. So please don't say anything disrespectful to me. Cause apart from me having my depressed mood swings, I'm also more aggressive. So please, in the Discord chat, please don't do anything like spamming. Yeah, I don't want to get aggressive. Yeah, today's the day I'm not gonna be calm. Actually, I'm gonna be the embodiment of no fucks to give. Whether you cry or not does not matter to me. Alright then. So, let's start off with this new series. This is, oh yeah, haters in the comments too. That also applies to you. But anyways, yeah, this is a new series. This is called The First, as in what if Deku was the first fucking demon? So, yeah. You know, this is probably the third time I tried doing this. First time it didn't work. Second time, oh fuck, that it didn't work. Third time, well, this is it. So, yeah. Second time it didn't work because I didn't have much time. But anyways, let's try it now. So, Deku dies from the sludge villain and shit like that. He got his body taken over. All Might busted up the Deku's body to get the sludge villain out. Did the same thing as Canon. Didn't drop the bottles. So yeah, and stuff like that. But yeah, thing is, Deku didn't go to the heaven that was supposed to be of his time. It was, well, a long time ago. Back, way before, well, the existence of mankind. Which means before Adam and Eve, which means when Lucifer started being rebellious. So Deku was told that he can get into heaven by Lucifer. Well, not exactly. Here's how it went. Lucifer says, well, you're all set, welcome to heaven. As Deku says, yay, as Lucifer smirked an evil grin and said, is what I would have said. As Deku looked at Lucifer in confusion and said, huh? As Lucifer proceeded to, well, release some angelic pressure upon Deku's body, making him faint and knocking him out, due to the amount of pressure of, well, a high-ranking angel putting it on him. As Deku, he proceeds to be sent to hell. Actually, he's not dragged or anything like that. No, he just falls. Now, I'm going to be bringing two things that, well, I find interesting in mythology inside of this. First, I'm going to be bringing the idea of purgatory. Secondly, I'm bringing in the idea of the 8 gates of hell. Now, it's not going to be 8 gates, it's going to be 20,000 gates. Now, secondly, I think that it should be infinite gates in hell. Why? Because there are infinite amounts of sins, infinite amounts of combinations between the sins, and infinite kinds of bad things. But anyways, yeah, let's continue. But quite honestly, if that existed, everyone would be in hell. And we don't want that. Let's just hope that God didn't do what I thought. Alright then. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, never mind. I probably won't be posting tomorrow. Yeah, my neighbors are having a barbecue. They invited me, so your boy's gonna be going to the barbecue. Just if, like the small percentage of if I have time, like if it's before 2, like between from like 2 to 4, if I have time, I'll make it. If I do not, I'm sorry, but I won't be posting tomorrow. But anyways, let's continue. And yes, I finished one of my series yesterday. I finished What If Deku Married Squirrel Girl yesterday, and the two got married. They had kids after, well, all the events happened. But anyways, let's proceed. Inko won't be having Deku in this What If. She'll be having Izumi. She won't be getting one for all. She'll have, the pyrokinesis quirk and shit like that, but she won't know she had a brother. Why? Because, well, Izuku didn't exist in that time. But anyways, let's start. As, basically, Deku, he's now in hell. And he wakes up a few hours after reaching hell. Well, not really a few hours. Well, outside, in the time of heaven, it's a few hours. Now, here's the thing. Hell moves differently from heaven. Heaven moves at the same speed as, well, regular human beings. Well, not exactly. Hell moves much faster. Hell moves at least, basically, every second is an eternity in hell, basically. As in heaven moves slightly faster than, well, not really. It moves about a few years faster. And that's because, well, because of, well, the idea of guardian angels. and many more. Now, the ship is going to be a really unique ship, and I hope you stay in tune with that. And quite honestly, this ship is probably going to get me killed. But yeah, let's go. As basically, Deku's in hell, he wakes up a few eternities later. Yeah, it's about like 2 hours in the outside world, and for Deku, it's been like a few eternities, basically. Exactly. I'm not gonna do the math for that. I'm way too lazy for that. You're not gonna see me do the math for that. Hence why calculators exist. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. Let's see. So, the 60 seconds times another 60 seconds. Wait, what the fuck am I doing? No, wrong. I did the wrong thing. 60 seconds times. Yeah, I was right. Oof, I'm stupid. Ignore that. So exactly 216,000 eternities have passed, which is when Deku wakes up. Yes, I did the math for that. Really quick math, isn't it? Well then, let me explain. 60 seconds is, well, the amount in a minute. Wait, no, that was just an hour. Well, yes, that was... Wait, yeah, I was right. So yeah, 60 seconds times 60 seconds, that's basically the number of seconds times the amount of seconds. And then there's... And that gave you like 36 something. I think it was 36. Yeah, 36,000. And then times that by 60, which gives you the 2 hour. That gives you an hour times 2. Ooh, it hits different when you make mistakes. All right, new calculation. 432,000. Yeah, that's how much eternities pass by. As Deku wakes up, as he's already feeling immense pain due to the burning and stuff like that. So it's really hurting him. He's in pain. But then after another 2 hours in the outside world, which means another 432,000 eternities, Deku's body stops feeling the pain. It stops feeling the pain. Now, in hell, there is said to be no eating nor sleeping. Now, Deku has those two abilities. Why? Because Deku isn't originally supposed to be in hell. So, most of the laws in hell don't really work for him. So, Deku can freely move through each gate in hell without trying. So, yeah. The laws in space in hell, quite honestly, don't work on him. So, that's kind of how it works. So, Deku, he's taking it like a champ, and he stops feeling the pain. Now, the reason he stops feeling the pain, well, the pain signals, like the signals that, the brain signals that allow you to feel pain, they're not being sent to his body anymore. So basically, Deku is numb. Yeah, basically. So, Deku, he walks around and he sees a big gate. As he looks up and he sees the gates of hell, which Deku's completely pissed. As a matter of fact, he's pissed at Lucifer. Yes, he knows it's Lucifer because he reads the Bible, and also Lucifer introduced himself. And Lucifer tried to use the act of looking nice and shit like that on Deku. So yeah, so Deku, he immediately gets anger towards Lucifer. Immediate anger, as Deku looks down and sees the words population as he looks under it, and he sees 1. As Deku gets even more pissed, knowing that, oh shit, he is the first demon to ever exist. Well, yeah, basically. As basically, Deku looks around him and he sees a lot of things, kind of like ghosts, spirits, and shit like that. Some with bodies that you can touch, and some that you cannot. Which means Deku's thinking that those are demons, but he sees that, oh shit, he's the only demon. As Deku looks closely, and he looks to the other side of the gate, and he sees demonic entities. As he says, huh? Those are demonic entities? As Deku looks under it, and he sees infinite, as he says, what the hell? What the hell? Wow. Why is there so much? And Deku's confused about why exactly that they're not all bundled up in the same place. As Deku finally realized that he's in hell, and hell is a place for punishment for, well, everybody. in order to contain those people, it has to have a lot of space. So the fact that there's infinite, that means, as Deku finally realized that hell doesn't just have a limited amount of space. It's as if every floor of hell is infinite. As Deku also looks, and he looks in the middle and he sees 20,000 floors, as Deku says, God damn it. As Deku looks down and he sees the Grim Reaper. As he proceeds to go to the Grim Reaper, as, this is, like, before, like, Lucifer. Alright, if you didn't know, the Grim Reaper is actually Lucifer's nephew. Yes, he's Lucifer's nephew, and shit like that, or Death. The Grim Reaper is also known as Death. Death is Lucifer's nephew. Why is it so loud? So, yes. So, yeah, that happened. As basically, Deku proceeds to go to, stay on the floor he's on, getting stronger by fighting the demons. Now, Deku can't really sleep since originally the demonic entities are there to actually stop the people from sleeping and shit like that. Deku has hunger, so the only thing he can do is legitimately eat the demonic entities that he can touch. So, the demons see this and they're like, "What aren't people sent down here unable to eat?" So they're confused. They're not fearful, but they're confused. As Deku's strong enough to at least one-shot every monster on the first floor. And the monsters range from, like, if it was levels, they'd at least range from 1 to at least 50. As Deku said, he's just eating and eating and eating and eating. And he's getting stronger. Now, Deku didn't know this, but as he killed them, he was getting, stronger. Not stronger as in gaining levels or experience, no. As in taking away the demonic entities that he kills, attribute and power and shit like that. So, Deku, he's able to turn into a ghost, a ghoul, whatever it is. So, Deku's confused. He learned the ability of shape-shifting, controlling the elements, and many more. Now, he can't control them to, the height of God or anything like that. Like, I'm not gonna make Deku a god, I'm gonna make him a fallen angel. And you'll understand why soon enough. As basically, Deku proceeds to just, let it happen. He's just letting it happen. He's just letting it happen while eating it, and he's trying to control his abilities to the best of his extent. And he succeeds after a few eternities in there, here and there, and shit like that. So, yeah, that's kind of what happened. As basically Deku goes deeper and deeper down into hell. Now, Deku, he's finally at level 100. Now, level 100 is big as hell. Now, Deku, as he was going down each level, Deku started to see these, tablets that were talking about, things from, not about now or the future, but way back in the dawn of existence or the beginning of existence, when existence wasn't even a thing. When the only thing that existed was just God. Existence didn't even exist, it was just God. Not like the person God, no, the word God. As Deku says, oh wow. As Deku, he says, that's interesting. Really interesting. As Deku's just reading everything, how God created heaven and earth and shit like that. As Deku, he can only understand it to an extent. Not the full extent, but to an extent. Cause the tablets are very vague. They don't give the full story, they just give pieces. The full story is in heaven, not where just any angel can go. No, it's in God's chambers. As basically Deku, he proceeds to go deeper in. Now, Deku started to notice that his strength was getting weaker and weaker every time he read, the tablets. His strength was dividing by 2, so Deku had to, go up levels just so he can, get the strength back. As he did that until he got to the 20,000th floor. Or to be exact, the 19,999th floor. as Deku is right in front of the gate of the 20,000th floor after he read the tablet and went inside. Now, Deku, he goes inside the 20,000th floor to see that, well, the gate behind him shut. It completely shut. It legitimately shut and won't open, which is kind of frightening Deku. Well, not really frightening because he's seen really scary things. Deku has seen things like demons and many more. Well, not really demons, but demonic entities that would be considered demons that the Bible would explain as. There were even times where Deku would hear about the strength of angels. Now I'm not going to reveal the strength of angels yet. So, yeah. As basically Deku, after hearing how strong the angels are and shit like that, Deku was surprised. So the existence of fallen angels have not existed yet since, well, Satan has not rebelled against God yet. As basically Deku, he's in the 20,000th floor. As immediately he's getting pulled in by these four, well, not golden, but blood red chains. As there's two, like there's one on, well, his left wrist, the other right, one on his, left ankle, the other on his right ankle, as Deku just gets dragged into the middle of the place. Not even near a wall or anything, no, he's in the middle. He's in the middle for a very specific reason. In the middle, it's actually worse for the people that's getting punished. As Deku, he says, oh no. Cause now he notices that, oh god, he's in a place with infinite of space. Not only that, there's no other person in here, nor is there anything other. So that means there is no limit to the punishment that Deku could get. And that's when Deku starts feeling pain again. He hasn't felt pain in eternities. As Deku, he's just screaming and screaming and screaming. Now, the sound of screeches and screams and blood-curdling yelps are unable to pass through the door or the space around the 20,000th floor. So anyone outside on the levels above, like the 19,999 floor and above, they can't hear it. Not even the Grim Reaper itself. As a matter of fact, death itself is scared to go inside there. As basically Deku's just getting pain, and it's only from one chain. As Deku, he gets silenced by the aura in the place. He gets silenced. Now, Deku, he learned about an angelic aura and shit like that, and he tried to use it. Now, since he's in hell, he's unable to use it, so that causes him to be regressed another few levels. Now, it didn't, well, divide his ability by just 2 times. No, it legitimately did it a few 100 million times. So Deku, he legitimately had to go back to the first floor and go as Deku tried to combine the two like a dumbass, and it didn't do it 100 million times this time. It did it 100 and quadrillion times. So Deku had to stay on the first floor 100, like a long time. Why? Because his progress speed was infinites of times slower than normal, which pissed him off. But Deku, he's just feeling the pain inside the 20,000th floor, as basically Deku gets put into a deep slumber. Now his body still feels the pain and it's irritating, but Deku, he's in a deep slumber that he can't escape, while also being in a nightmare. As Deku, while he's sleeping, he's getting surrounded by many other chains, different colors, different sizes, and many more, and different lengths. As well, not really different lengths, but different sizes, as each one has their own separate type of punishment, whether it be a disease or a certain type of thing that a person could do to you. Now, it's also looking through the memories of Deku, such as guns and shit like that, since in that time humans didn't exist, so the guns don't really exist. The only person that knows about guns' existence is, well, God. God made the angels specifically to protect, well, the humans. He made them to protect the humans and heaven and to serve him, whilst also, well, being unable to see the, well, future, nor can they see the past. Well, some angels can see the future and the past, but they can't see the full extent. They only see things like a few years or even a few hours. But things like a few minutes, that wouldn't be called a prodigy. Things like a few years, you'd be considered a prodigy. Things like a few hours, a few minutes, a few days, yeah, that's the norm. If you can see like a few months, a few years, oh, you're a prodigy. Or like you're a master. Oh my god, they can't see that far into the future, so they don't know much about guns. So, yeah. And the ones that can see, months and years into the future, they stay with God. Why? Because God knows that in the future, because God knows that they can clearly see the future that He sees. Well, at least the future to their extent that He sees. Such as Lucifer's rebellion against God and shit like that. And then there's also like the Cain and Abel thing, the Adam and Eve thing. So God keeps them with Him so they don't start saying it around to everybody. Because it could be catastrophe. It could be catastrophe if that happens. Especially the Lucifer one. Why? Because Lucifer is their little brother. He's the right-hand man of God. Well, not right, but left-hand man. The right-hand man is, well, Michael. Either way, the two are, well, strong as hell. As basically, Deku says, alright. As basically, no, not Deku. As God denies it. As Deku knows who Deku's future girlfriend slash wife will be, they'll be husband and wife, yeah. But shit like that. So Deku, as Deku, now remember, God is 3 separate entities into one body. Now, what I'm about to do is going to be real world breaking. And I think God is going to probably try to kill me. I don't know. But hold on. So yeah, Deku, he's feeling immense pain from different calamities, emotions, and shit like that. As basically, Deku is just in a deep slumber, not waking up anytime soon. Now we skip years and years. Basically, that's when Lucifer started his rebellion, and you know how it went. Lucifer lost. As basically, this shit happened. As basically, the population went up by a lot. A lot. The population in hell went up by a lot. As basically, God couldn't care less about what happens. Well, He cares about what happens to Lucifer, but in this current moment in time, He wants to, well, see the progress of the world that He has created. He wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's good in His eyes. Because then again, nothing in this world can be perfect. I hope you understand that. So those who have the ideology that they should be the perfect being or the perfect human or some shit like that, just know that the perfect being can never exist. There is no perfection in this world, so you should be grateful for what you have and don't have. Alright? Alright then. So, basically, shit happens, and basically, Cain and Abel, Adam and Eve, and shit like that. The start of the human race happened. Now, Deku's just getting punished, and oh my god, hold on. Alrighty then, let's continue. As basically, yeah, Deku continues the suffering and shit like that. Now, the Cain mark happens and shit like that. Now, right when, I feel like a few years of Satan and friends being there. Like, I'm talking about, like, years in, like, Earth time. Deku finally wakes up from that deep slumber, gaining complete immunity from, well, the punishment of infinity itself. So, infinity can't punish Deku. But that doesn't mean God can't. God goes beyond infinity and infinite, so I don't know, man. As basically, Deku, he wakes up and he breaks the chains. Not only that, Deku, hungry as hell, resorted to eating the chains since, well, it's gonna take a long time for him to get out. As Deku, over time, the chains of time and space are not able to bond him, as a matter of fact. So Deku, he's gained control, complete control over space and time. Well, not complete control, second to God, basically. Yeah, that's kind of how it happened. As basically, Deku, he says, let's get out of here. He's in space and he goes to the first floor, or gate number 1, as he sees none other than the person he hates the most, Lucifer, not Morningstar, Lucifer or Satan, giving a speech to his demons and shit like that, after just, convincing Eve to, do the dumb shit that she did and stuff like that, tempting Abel to kill his brother and shit like that, and also tempting the human race. As Deku, he watches in silence until he gets tired of Lucifer's blabbering and shit like that about overthrowing God for at least 3 hours, as Deku proceeds to appear in front of Lucifer, grabs him by the head and slams him on the floor. As As everybody's surprised, the demons are surprised, not the angels. The demons are surprised, as basically, the demons go to attack Deku, but to their surprise, all of a sudden they're being held by chains. Now, Deku did not put on the pain of the chains, he just put the chains there to restrict them, because if he put on the pain, it'd be worse for them. They'd actually be near death. Not like they could die any fucking way, but still, they'd be near death. You ever say something about the devil and feel like that man's just watching you? Like, bro, you're not scaring me. When I get to hell, I'm beating the shit out of you. Like, what do you think this is? Like, shit. I can't really be like that. Because this man really think I'm scared of him. Like, shit, there was even a time that this man tried to scare me using my closet, making me think there was a demon in there. Stared right back at this man like I was about to slap a motherfucker out of him. Respectfully. As basically, Deku, he says, oh, you don't remember the person you sent to hell. As Lucifer says, huh? There's only, impossible. As Lucifer said, you're the kid? As Deku says, ding, ding, ding. Now it's time for my punishment. As Lucifer's thinking that God's gonna punish, Izuku, but to his surprise, Izuku says, oh, you thought I meant mine. Oh no, I'm talking about how I'm punishing you. As Lucifer's surprised and now fearful, because this kid is now stronger than him and he's an angel. As he tries to use light to, impale Deku and stop him in his tracks and shit like that, but it doesn't work. And he doesn't know why, as Deku says, oh, anything within space does not work on me, which means anything within hell and heaven and infinity itself does not work on me. As Deku, he proceeds to, grab Lucifer and turns him over to where his wings are. As basically, Deku proceeds to put the chains holding down Lucifer's arms, legs, his body, and his wings, as he proceeds to pluck out every feather from Lucifer's wings, making him look at like a chicken in the end, making him unable to fly. As Lucifer says, you've humiliated me enough, get off. As Deku says, who said I was gonna let you off with wings? As Lucifer now gets a fearful and shocked face, as Deku grabs Lucifer's wings and he tugs at them with immense strength. Sure, Deku's not at full strength because he's still getting, his strength back after just waking from a deep slumber. He pulls out Lucifer's wings. Well, not exactly all 6 of them, but one wing after 5 tugs. And after 30 tugs, all 6, no, not 30. After 36 tugs, all 35 tugs. Each one of Lucifer's wings, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30. Oh my god. See, it don't work like that. As all the wings are out after 30 tugs, as Deku says, I'm not letting y'all go. As Deku proceeds to go in front of the gate to where Death is. As Death tries to fend off Izuku. But Izuku doesn't do that. He finally realized that his ability is able to cipher off, not cipher, since it doesn't because ciphering takes only a little bit. Deku completely devours their abilities, their attributes, and shit like that. Deku is kind of like a demon of gluttony, but not at the same time. Deku is the embodiment of every, 7 deadly sin, but he doesn't show it, because Izuku is not prideful. He shows wrath to only the people he actually holds a deep grudge to, which is Lucifer, because, Izuku, he's currently torturing Lucifer on the inside. And then there's his side of gluttony. The gluttonous side takes things from, the demonic entities and the demons. As Deku, he grabs Death as he kills Death. Even though he's in a weakened state, he kills Death. Why? Because Death is much weaker than Lucifer, as he kills Death and completely devours Death's abilities. As Death's cousin, or Lucifer's daughter, tries to attack, but Deku, he just, restrains her, as he says, Even though you didn't do anything, your father did something to me, so I won't kill you. But I can't have you leave here. As Deku proceeds to phase through the gates of hell, since he wasn't supposed to be there to begin with, but he couldn't leave because of, well, death. But once he gets out, Deku, he sees that there is a long way to go. Just a steep hill, kind of like a hill. As Deku proceeds to go up every one of those hills, as Deku says, this is annoying. As Deku finally gets out of hell, as the first thing he sees is, well, none other than a mountain. As Deku says, As Deku goes to the mountain, and in front of the gates of the mountain, it says, the gates of purgatory, as it says, population 1 billion. As Deku says, and no, not 1 billion, because the likelihood of getting into purgatory is really low. About, hold on. So yeah, Deku goes inside of purgatory. The population is 1.5 million. Not 15 million, no, 1,500,000. Alright? As Deku goes inside and he sees many floors, but Deku immediately going onto the first floor, it already takes him a few eternities just to get out of there. As he continues to go to each floor and many more, as Deku, he gets a mark on his forehead for each floor. Now, it wasn't just like some dangerous mark or anything. No, it was kind of like a tally mark. He had 7 tally marks on his head at the end, and Deku, the tally marks disappeared. Well, not disappeared, but were eaten. The power of the tally marks, well, became inside of Izuku's body, which means Deku got the full power of the 7 deadly sins at that point. As Deku proceeds to, well, float up to heaven. But on his way to heaven, he jumped out. He jumped out the way to heaven. As Deku, he's in this dark place and shit like that, and he's looking around. He sees demonic entities. Well, not demonic entities, more like spirits. As Deku proceeds to beat the living crap out of the spirits while also using gluttony on their souls and taking their hatred and many more. Not exactly their hatred, they're still sent to hell, he just takes their power, so they're vulnerable. As Deku goes even deeper into the forest, as Deku goes and he sees, well, this girl. As Deku says, Now, at that moment, Deku felt something that he's never felt. One of his 7 deadly sins. No. 2 of his 7 deadly sins that he's never felt before, nor has he ever actually used, unconsciously started being used. And those are greed and lust. As his greed, he just wants her, and only her. He wants her and he will take her from, well, whoever he is with. Then there's lust. He's, well, lustful towards her. As Deku immediately goes towards her and he grabs her, as, you know, he gets away from, well, those spirits, while also killing them and taking their abilities. As basically, this girl, she has the flaming sword. Hold on a minute. Someone needs to know how to pronounce. Is that really how you say the name? Well then, anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna change the plot of existence here. This is Archangel Uriel. I know, right? You may be wondering, how am I changing the plot of existence? Well, if you did not know, Archangel Uriel is actually the archangel that guards the Garden of Eden with the flaming sword. It wasn't just any angel, it was Angel Uriel. Now, there are 2 Uriels. Well, yeah, 2 no, just one. And that's this one. Now, there was a different angel that's guarding the Garden of Eden Same strength as Uriel, same combat abilities as her, but that one is a male. Same name. Alright, but they don't know that there's, well, two of them. The other one was kind of like a copy of this one. This one is, well, different from the other one. That other one is a copy, but this one is very special. So, Deku, while running away with her, you know, the typical position of running away, grabbing them by the legs and just running or just walking away, so you get like a face full of ass right next to you. So basically, as she's basically complaining and saying, "Let go of me, you sickening human," or some shit like that. But then she realizes that he's not a human, so he must be either a spirit or like a demon or some shit like that. As then she finally notices that, oh shit, he has demonic energy around him, so he's definitely a demon. As she proceeds to complain and say, "Get off of me! I am the angel Uriel." As basically Deku says, "Huh? What's so special about you?" As she gasps, but she says, "What? You don't know of my existence?" Now, this is what Deku looks like if he wants to actually like aim to kill you. Yeah, he uses the Grim Reaper's form, basically. So, yeah. As she says, "What? You don't know of my existence?" As she says, "Put me down and I'll explain." As Deku puts her down but also restrains her, as she says, "I am Archangel Uriel. I am also a fragment of, well, the Holy Ghost." As he says, "Huh? That's impossible. Isn't the Holy Ghost inside of, well, the Holy Spirit, which is with God?" As she says, "Well, there are many of us that are shards of the Holy Ghost. Not exactly big pieces, but little fragments of the Holy Ghost's power. We have different rules. Some of us are guarding hell to make sure the demons such as Lucifer doesn't get out. Some of us are in the human realm trying to take away humans' hatred, and some of us are like me. We're getting rid of spirits, basically." As Deku says, "Interesting. Well then, as of today, you'll be relieved of your duty." As she says, "What? Impossible, no." As he says, "No. You're going to be mine and mine alone. You're still gonna be God's, but you're gonna be mine." As basically she says, "No, I don't have God's permission." As Deku says, "You need God's permission?" As she says, "Yes, I need God's permission." As Deku says, "Fine, get back to work. I'll come see you often." As Deku, he grudgingly left. As he comes see Uriel once in a while, and Uriel actually started gaining feelings for Izuku. Which, God started to sense this. Even though he knew it was gonna happen, he started sensing, well, the compassion in, well, Uriel's demeanor towards Izuku and stuff like that. God, don't strike me with lightning the next time I go outside. Actually do that. I want to become the next Zenitsu. Without the crying, though. But still, don't punish me for doing this to you. Please. Man, I have prayers after this anyways. I'll just pray. Yeah, I'll pray after this. Wonderful prayers. But anyways, yeah. Oh my god. As basically, God senses this, but also God gets an eerie feeling of, well, destruction coming to heaven. As he's wondering why, as he looks at Izuku, and then he finally realized that, oh shit, something catastrophic is gonna happen. Because Deku already, even though he's severely weakened due to, well, being restricted by, well, his incapabilities of fully comprehending the, well, scriptures that God has left in hell, he knows that Deku himself, at this current moment in time, is known as a, well, calamity to heaven. He's legitimately a fucking calamity to heaven. As Deku, he knows what Deku's gonna do. As basically, Deku... What the fuck, bro? I think I broke the game. Yeah, I broke it. I broke it. Oh no. Dear God, I don't even want to start the level again. I broke it. I broke the fucking game. Oh, wow. I should be on the second stage right now, but I broke it. Well, I broke it. Such is life. Shit, works for me, right? I could probably get first place. You know, even though I'm in the top 20 in the game, I'm finna be top number one after this one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this finna hit different. Oh, yeah, this finna hit different real good. Alright, then. So, basically, Deku, he finally gets off his ass after talking to Uriel and shit like that. And, yeah, they started a little relationship and shit like that. So, yeah, they started a relationship. As basically Deku says, well, I gotta go, Uriel. As Uriel says, where are you going? As Deku says, I have to do something real quick. Now, Deku has been getting stronger due to killing the spirits while helping Uriel and shit like that, relieving most of Uriel's, well, siblings to go back to heaven and, well, go back into the Holy Ghost, which Deku, he finally decides, alright, I think it's time. As, you know, he goes to purgatory. As the seven deadly sins see him and said, what, aren't you supposed to be in heaven? As Deku says, no. As Deku says, I want you to send me to heaven now. As they do it, as Deku goes to heaven. Well, not heaven, but the gates of heaven. Now the gates won't open because it senses demonic energy around Deku. But Deku, he is now the embodiment of no fucks to give. As Deku legitimately punches open the gates of heaven, even though it's the ultimate defense, but well, I wouldn't say it's the ultimate defense, since, well, fucking Satan's able to go inside of it, but shit such is life. As basically, Deku, he proceeds to, well, go. He goes inside of heaven, which the angels are alarmed by this, as they all start attacking him, as Deku starts beating the crap out of them and stuff like that, which is not an easy task. Now, the angels, they range, like, the low-class angels are fucking calamities to at least a planet or two. Like, at least 10 planets combined. So, Deku, he proceeds to just keep going. He just keeps going without end. Just keeps going, fighting the angels. Like, the low-class angels, mid-class. Mid-class angels are at least galaxy, like, multi-galaxy level, like a few galaxies. Then there's the high-class ones, which are universal levels and shit like that. And then he starts reaching, well, low archangel. Low archangel is something like omniverse type shit and multiple. And then there's the mid, and there's well, the beyond and shit like that. Then there's high ones, like there's only four high ones, and Uriel is one of them. Uriel, yeah. As the high level ones are, well, existence to levels, as basically Deku beats all of them, whilst also killing a few by accident, since he couldn't really control his powers in the beginning, while taking their abilities, which means he took the abilities of angels to fly. As basically, yo, is that a million? Oh, shit. Shit. Oh, I'm real grateful now. Shit, get me to the number one place. Let's get it. But anyways, am I really gonna have to refresh it? I'm not gonna refresh it. I'm not doing that. As basically, Deku, he proceeds to, well, bust into everywhere in heaven. He killed archangels as well and shit like that. As basically, like, he killed them. Well, not killed them, but severely weakened them and took their powers. As basically, Deku, he proceeds to, well, go to, well, the chambers of God. Now, everybody's thinking, oh, he's trying to rebel against God, so we don't have to worry about anything. But Deku legitimately breaks inside God's chambers, as he goes in front of God, as he gets on his knees and starts praying, which surprises the angels, and they're like, huh? What's going on? As God prays for forgiveness for whatever sin he did in his past life and shit like that, while also asking God for his, well, blessing to, well, marry Uriel, as basically the angels can legitimately hear Deku's prayer. Like, the prayer is legitimately being heard through every angel's head, as every angel are confused. Even Uriel's hearing this, and she's actually quite happy. she's quite happy, but also mad at Izuku for causing a conundrum in heaven. But she's also, well, happy that, well, he did all of that just to ask God for, well, his blessing to marry Uriel. As Deku's finished, as Deku can just grabs well, doesn't really grab anything. He just grabs a little mat and shit like that as he sits on the mat waiting for God's answer. As God looks at Izuku, as he smiles, as he says, "Of course, you can marry her." As Deku, his eyes sparkle as this is something that shocks all the angels. This is the first time that actually the angels have been shocked in their life. And Deku hugs God, because they don't really see. Because angels, they're quite fearful of God and fearful of what he can do. So, and they're known for only existing to serve him, so they don't know anything about like hugging God. I know they know about like emotions and affection and shit like that, but yeah, we'll just ignore that. As Deku hugs God and says thank you, whilst also giving God a kiss on the cheek. Why not? Like shit. That's God. Like, you're really unwilling to kiss God on the cheek? Like, shit, that's a chance of a lifetime. If your boy had that chance, son would have been kissing up on God's face every day. He's been smoking the wrong pack. As the angels were shocked, they thought that God was mad or some shit was gonna do something. But to their surprise, God said, well, we have to get ready for the marriage ceremony. As the angels were shocked by this. Look at this broken shit. Fuck. Anyways. Yeah, so Deku, he did that. As basically, they got married, alright? They got married after like a few days, because Uriel still had to do work, so God had to send another angel to start doing the work in her place for that current moment in time, while she was getting married. Now, he also got a video footage of, well, the marriage and shit like that, so he didn't have to really feel left out, as basically, like, the whole marriage happened and shit like that. And Lucifer, hearing about this, he was pissed. Because, well, because of what happened to him and Izuku. And it's basically the two got married. They didn't have kids and shit like that. They're married. As God appointed Izuku as, well, an archangel, but it soon changed to arch-fallen angel, since Izuku also has, well, he's a demon. As God said, it seems that you have read the scriptures, so it seems that you need the full one so you can get your actual power. Deku says, yeah. As God brings him to, well, a library he has in his chambers, which Izuku just spends eternities there just reading it, as Uriel knows about it and stuff like that, as Uriel just went back to Earth to, well, finish the job. Now, the job's gonna be finished, so by the time Izuku's finished, Uriel and him could spend some quality time, but then Izuku's gonna have to go back to Earth, and Uriel's gonna, well, have to go back to work. As basically, Deku, he's done reading the scriptures, and right when that happens, when he's done, it's like something, oh my god, I broke the game to the point where it went back to 0. Oh, wow. Dear God. Now I'm really gonna have to refresh it. It hurts to have to refresh it, but it reset back to 0. I think I got to like a few billion, like at least like 10 billion, and then finally like went back to 0. Oof. It probably went to the trillions too. But anyways, yeah, that's what happened. It's basically Deku, he hung out with the restrictions on his, well, abilities were broken, which immediately all the angels felt strong demonic and holy energy. And they were like, huh? What's going on? As Deku, immediately his eyes start to glow as Deku says, God damn it. Huh? As Deku, he's able to now see the future and the past and shit like that. As Deku says, huh? As God says, well then, Izuku, come with me. As Izuku says, huh? As God says, well, we have to get your powers under control. No better way to do it than with fighting. As Deku says, huh? I couldn't. As As God says, nope, you have to. As Deku saddens by this, but says, alright, as he goes and trains with God for multiple years. That shit hurt. But I've been blessed. Ho ho. And it's basically, Deku just continues to fight. And fight God and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a struggle for Deku, but he's getting better control of his power every day. His adapting abilities are practically infinite, and he's able to adapt to the situation. As Deku's able to finally control his abilities, and Deku, he's also an existence level. But to the point where he doesn't even need to, well, use his full power. He's an existence level that moves beyond existence itself. He can, well, destroy timelines, existence, space itself, and infinity. As Deku can basically do anything. As Deku says, well, that's interesting. As Deku, he talks to God most of the time, getting closer with God, but whilst talking to God, some things happen to his body, kind of like phenomenons. Such as, well, Deku, his body has gotten way lucky, to the point where the luck of his body is heaven's defying just like God's, but also able to destroy heaven itself. So Deku, he's kind of a menace to, well, heaven itself. So Deku, he goes to, well, Earth. He tells God that he's going to Earth and shit like that. He told Uriel, and God was like, alright, have fun on Earth and shit like that. As Deku's gonna be one angel that's on Earth, not to legitimately guard a specific person, but just because he wants to be on Earth. And it's basically, Deku goes to Earth perfectly fine and shit like that. And it's basically, Deku lets shit happen. It's Deku, he's on Earth. Now, Bakugo got one for all and shit like that. Bakugo, he's way more cockier since he has a cocky friend as well. Izumi's cocky as hell. Izumi's also a bully and shit like that. So, she doesn't know about it. So, the world changed drastically. It's basically, Deku knows about Yue, but Deku, the moment he steps on Earth, it's like a swarm of people just start running towards him for some reason. Deku doesn't know why. Deku is just getting handed clothes, keys, money, and shit like that. He's like, what? As Deku finally realizes, oh, this is the side effect of my heaven's defying luck. As Deku says, you know what, I'll just accept it all. As he accepts it all and shit like that, Deku goes to the bank, gets the money and shit like that from billionaires, millionaires, quadrillionaires, and shit like that. As Deku says, alright. As Deku, he goes and, goes to the house. Should I? Yeah, I think I should. Seems normal. So yeah, this is the house. I was legitimately looking at memes for the longest now before I legitimately decide, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna make the video, I'm gonna continue the video. So yeah, this is the house. Well, you'll see pictures from what is that should be coming out tomorrow. Yeah, but ignore it now. As Deku, he's on Earth, he says, you know what, fuck it, what time is it, what year, what month? As Deku notices that, oh, it's the year that, well, he was gonna sign up for the UA entrance, UA entrance exams. He said, how much months? As Deku says, oh, there's 10 months. As Deku says, I'll just hang out with Uriel for that, until then. So Deku, he pulls up on heaven, he says, I'll just be staying here for 10 months on Earth. In Earth's time, as God asks why, as Deku explains the whole 10 months thing is, God says, oh, okay, so Deku, he does that and shit like that, and he just hangs out with the two, as basically, Deku says goodbye to the people in heaven. Over his time, he's gained quite the reputation. He's a nice angel, a nice fallen angel, not like Lucifer and shit like that. As a matter of fact, he's probably the reason Lucifer hasn't been wreaking havoc on Earth for the past, I don't know, few millennia or so. As basically, Deku says, alrighty then, that's kind of how it works. As basically, Deku, he's beyond the prodigies of heaven, alright? So yeah, so basically, it's time for the UA entrance exam. Deku, he got a kiss from Uriel and, he dipped off. He pulled up to UA. Nobody knows of Deku. Deku didn't go to high school or anything like that, so, yeah, any records of him do not exist. As Deku, he goes to UA and stuff like that. As Deku, he registered beforehand. Like, he legitimately personally went to the school. He personally went to the school. Or to be exact, he got a recommend. Well, Nezu legitimately pulled up to his house asking him if he would like to take the UA entrance exam. Why? Because, well, he caught Deku on camera punching the living crap out of a villain, sending that man's flying. Man's clothes went off too. Like, this man's was butt naked, got his shit punched, and he went flying butt naked. So Deku, goes to the UA entrance exams, bumps into Bakugo. Bakugo with that whole attitude and shit like that toward Izuku, more egotistical and shit like that. As Deku just walks off, Bakugo throws in explosions. Now he think that he hit Deku, but right through the explosion, Deku grabs his head. Not only that, man's Deku did what you'd call a bulldozer. He legitimately picks up Bakugo, rams that nigga through a few buildings, like legitimately. He runs. He runs. Not like how Kratos did when he picked through that nigga and legitimately caught him in midair. No. Just throwing him by the head. Like his hand is still in front of him. Just running through the buildings and shit like that. Until he gets to a mountain. Like this man did a full 360 around Earth. Right back. Now Bakugo, he has a broken head, broken back, broken arms. Knock the hell out. And he might as well be dead at this point, but Deku drops in while healing him. As Deku says, alrighty then. As Deku goes inside UA, as Nezu's confused about what happened, because he's wondering how he saw somebody that went from the front come from the back. As he's thinking, oh, he just circled around or some shit like that, but he doesn't know. But then he's starting to get a worldwide report about some random kid carrying another kid in his hand, just running around the world as Nezu. He's shocked and fearful to know that, well, Deku just ran around the whole Earth. As basically, that's what happened is, as they start the test and stuff like that, the written test, everything goes as per normal. As now it's time, as Ida does the same shit and stuff like that. As then, Deku goes near Ida. He grabs Ida by the shoulder and legitimately forcibly makes him sit down. As Ida says, as Deku says, kid, I'm gonna say this once and only once. You need to wait patiently and shut up, as he's putting more pressure upon Ida's body. Not enough pressure like angelic presence or shit like that. No, just bareback strength pushing this nigga down. As Ida's feeling the pain and the pressure, she says, okay. As he says, alright, you can continue with what you were saying. As President Mike explains and shit like that, as Izuku says, alright then. As they all go outside in their attires to take the UA entrance exams. Izuku won't have a hero costume because his hero costume is literally just gonna teleport to him and shit like that. As basically, Deku says, alright then, that's taken care of, I guess. Well, that's it. Well, Deku just goes outside and he's just waiting, alright? He's just waiting. He wants to get to the front. He didn't look at Uraraka or anything, but Ida still stopped him, thinking that he was gonna sabotage somebody in the front or some shit. As Deku, no fucks to give, slaps the living crap out of Ida into the wall. Like, shit, you would think this man Deku has respect for him? Like, damn, he don't really care about him. As basically Deku goes inside and just does his shit. Just goes to the front, and then President Mike says, 3, 2, so yeah, that's where I'm gonna be leaving it off. Yeah, cliffhanger. Yeah, we just stop at the yeah, we're gonna stop there. Okie dokie then. What a wonderful ending to a What If. So yeah, this is What If Deku was the first. This is not my strongest Deku. I hope you guys know that. This is not my strongest Deku. This is not my strongest Deku. This is actually my 5th strongest Deku. Yeah, I know, right? My 5th strongest Deku. How is he the 5th? Oh shit, he's the 5th. Yeah, he's the 5th. So, hope you guys enjoyed. This has been Lotus What Ifs with part 1 of the first. I hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the short I made. So yeah, this has been Lotus What Ifs out by my little stars.